How do I introduce a man from Michigan? Because he's really one of us. I followed Stewart Francke's career now for, I'm going to say about 12, 15 years. I remember he struck something in a chord with me, Mitch Albom, and you were talking on the radio once, and it was like, I really enjoyed that. And then I followed your career. You had you were strong enough in working and healing your own cancer to bring it to the forefront of the public, and I always found that inspirational. And every time I hear your music, one of the things I just honor and love about you is the fact that you are one of us. We are unique, I believe, in the Midwest, in the fact that we want you to know that we love and support, but our pains are real, and the things that we need to share, oftentimes on either coast, they're so laid back and blasé, or they're sitting there and grinding it out. In some ways, I guess we're like the Velveteen Rabbit that way. We're very real and honest with ourselves, as well as honest with those around us. Stewart has been in the business, he says, all of his adult life, almost 30 plus years. He's a songwriter, a singer, a producer. He owns his own record label. And I think that one of the gifts of that is we often don't think of ours as business owners. But they really are, because they shepherd their career. They make sure that they deliver the product on time. They make sure that they deliver the product to delight us all. And most importantly, the up and downs of their lives. I mean, face it, I'm sure, Stewart, you've come to in front of an audience many times where you said, I'm having a less than spectacular day, but I got to leave that in the wings and deliver, as we all do when we're in front of our clients, in front of our prospects and stuff. And this is kind of tangential to our Prosperous Artist theme. Rosh and I run a group called ProsperousArtist.com. And one of the things I just really admire about Stewart is he is what I believe is prosperity, in the fact that he's following his bliss. He's uniting people through his vision, through his music. And most importantly, like the Velveteen Rabbit, he is real, he is loved. One of the most cherished things in the nursery, or in this case in our region, is to have our heroes and our local people reflect where we're at. Stewart, I'm just delighted that you've taken time from your schedule. I know you're in the midst of a tour right now. You've got both a new live album out, and then you've got your album, which your last album, I kind of borrowed the name for your talk here, called Motor City Serenade. You are truly a treasure, and we are honored to have you. Please give a warm roundtable welcome to Stewart Francke. Stewart?
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Dean. That's quite an introduction. I appreciate it very much. And I didn't know what to expect coming here to speak to all of you, and I'm just delighted by the what I found here. The group of people. I mean, it's such a creative and unique group of people, full of fresh ideas and enthusiasm and excitement in a relatively difficult time. So it's really been sort of a redemptive thing for me already, just being here this short time. But the things I wanted to talk to you about, I guess I wanted to talk to you about a twin pair of ideas. One is survival, or a sense of overcoming, and the other is an idea of community. In a sense of borderless, enlightened community, which we all need to conduct business in, to conduct everything in, to make art in, to make music in. And I'm often called a survivor, I guess because I've survived both leukemia and a bone marrow transplant and the music business, which is, I don't know which was worse. But, You know, in writing this and thinking about what I wanted to say to y'all, I was thinking about this word overcoming. We all have a shared yearning to survive our circumstances, to transcend and to overcome. But overcome what? We want to overcome issues early in our lives with parents, school, friends, sports, career, clients, government. Ultimately, we try and overcome all our obstacles. But I think if we seek to be truly healthy in an emotional, spiritual, and physical sense, we want to overcome ourselves, our own internal obligations and obstacles. My life took this strange and difficult turn several years ago. What I found that once you go through a period of adversity, it doesn't drop you back where you were. You become something new, something else. Times like a river, it doesn't double back and plop you right down where you were before something either bad or good happened. So the theme of not just surviving, but overcoming fear and the specter of death is universal and central to our human condition. We often all look for someone to spell out very simply what it is to live a life well lived. Particularly someone who's been on the front lines of life and death, like a soldier or something. We want to know what it was like. The questions we want to ask are, what really matters in our lives? How would we spend our time if we thought we just had weeks to live? Because this is how we should spend our days. What words would we impart to the world if we knew this was our last chance? By exploring how I found my answer to those questions through, through love, humor, the human condition, medicine, guts, and music, I forgot about dying and learned how to really live. Cancer survivors share the realization that they can never return to life as it was before the cancer diagnosis. We come up with cute names for it like a new normal or a second life. But it's a new life in a familiar yet untried body with information I never expected and strength and even security I never knew I had. Like one big change I first had to cope with was my compulsion to wear pumps and watch the Lifetime channel. No, that's just an aside. We won't get into that here, do we? But I also want to talk about why I live and work here in Detroit and what that consciously means to me every single day. When I first heard Mitch Ryder, Levi Stubbs, David Ruffin, the MC5, or Bob Seger as a young kid, I grew up in Saginaw, but I could hear all that on the radio, WTAC out of Flint. All that music completely turned my head around about new ways to think, dress, and live. And when you think about it, we've now taken this music, it's our music, into what they used to call middle age, without any loss of passion, excitement, or interest. We're only now able to prove, just like sculptors and painters and pilots and accountants and corporate executives, that you get better at songwriting and performing as you go through life. I moved here to Detroit partially as a result of this lingering promise in the music that I heard. If you're a musician and you're from Detroit, there's a certain way we do things. Yes, it's always been about attitude by and large, but it's how we wear what we wear. It's about forgiveness and tolerance and avoiding the chasm between artist and image. It's about leaving a part of yourself on every stage you take and never faking it, whether you're playing powerfully loud rock and roll or sweet, soft jazz. In my songs and in my imagination, places like Saginaw and Detroit have been both common and sacred to me. Writing songs about this place has allowed me to discover, myself. I am, and we all are, I think here, Midwesterners. And in the Midwest, we place the value of living in loyalty to friends and family, maybe one or two chosen institutions, like a church or a union, and finally, in a deep trust with the land and water around us. So my story, until June 10th, 1998, I was working hard to realize my musical dreams. It was starting to go very well. I had a regional hit with a song called Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and glowing reviews, and I was playing shows with Sheryl Crow, Warren Zevon, Stevie Winwood, Huey Lewis, a lot of other people. I was on the road and doing a lot of fun things. It was going really well. I was also the father of a 4 and a 2-year-old at that time. I had a wonderful wife, and I was a loving son and brother. My life was filled with great joy and promise. But on that day, I was diagnosed with chronic myelogenous leukemia. And on that day, at the age of 39, I began living with the sudden, distinct possibility of death. Finding out that I had leukemia removed what I call, or what psychiatrists call, the illusion of immortality. Sort of, it's an inherent and basic peace of mind we all walk around with. Just as the World Trade Center attacks did on a collective level. We thought, this doesn't happen to me, this doesn't happen to us, this happens to someone else. But the treatment for CML, the chronic myelogenous leukemia in my case, and the only chance for a cure was called an allogeneic stem cell transplant. It used to be called a bone marrow transplant, but the new name reflects a change in how the cells are harvested from donors. Instead of painfully extracting marrow from the hip, the process of stem cell collection now resembles a longer, more involved blood draw through the arm. That's the technique, but it doesn't capture the essence of the treatment. The hope with an allo transplant is to totally wipe out the patient's bone marrow, which is cancerous. That's what leukemia is. An immune system, because the immune system resides in the marrow, with high-dose chemotherapy, and then transplant stem cells from a genetically matched donor, as I said, in my case it was my sister, into the patient's body, leaving the patient disease-free with functioning bone marrow and an intact immune system. That's what's supposed to happen, anyway, in a perfect world. But the reality is messy and often grim. More than half of the allo patients do not survive the first year. Typically, it's not because cancer returns, it's due to complications resulting from the treatment. The cure, as they say, kills you. Some patients develop graft versus host disease, or GVHD, where the donor stem cells begin attacking your existing organs, the liver, the gastrointestinal tract, skin, and eyes. And the treatment for that is really large doses of prednisone, which does its own number on you, which I'll talk about in a little bit. And then infection when you take prednisone, your immune system goes down a little bit, which can leave you open to infection because you have no real immune system. And so I was between the proverbial rock and a hard place in a big way. Excuse me. As luck and Murphy's Law would have it, all of the above eventually happened to me. My liver function tests were always much too high because of GVHD, and my platelets would regularly disappear with a complication called ITP, which is idiopathic thrombocytopenic purpura, which I would wake up for a period of 2 years. I'd wake up and I'd be hemorrhaging for no reason. You know, I'd blood everywhere, and so I'd go back in the hospital for a long period of time. And I had a surgically placed Hickman catheter in my chest that would get infected, and they'd take it out. It was straight, so the chemotherapy could go straight into your heart. But despite going through all this, the good news was the leukemia was gone after a period of a year. I was disease-free, which was a small miracle, really, if I could survive the continuing complications. So as I thought about what to do, whether to go through a bone marrow transplant or not, the choice was akin to being on the top floor of a burning building. Staying in the building means certain death. But if you jump, you might break enough bones and sustain injuries serious enough that the complications from that will kill you. But you're alive when you hit the ground. So for me, it was a no-brainer. I was going to jump out of the burning building. And I waited just like 2 months and had the transplant, and that was that. When it comes down to cancer patients making the choice, some decide to stay in the burning building. They opt for the quicker, sure death of cancer. But as I said, I wanted to be one of the lucky ones who tried to survive, to walk back into the life that I hope was still waiting for me. I started with a family doctor who gave me a misdiagnosis of acute leukemia, which is a slightly more dire prognosis. And I wound up being a spokesman for Karmanos Cancer Institute downtown in Detroit, which is a fantastic place. I developed steroid psychosis, landed me in the loony bin for a couple weeks, which was really good as a songwriter. It's a good place to be, actually. My weight fluctuated between 160 and 245. I had biopsies of the bone marrow, liver, skin, tongue, and even cauterization of the eye duct with a long needle. You're not still eating, are you? I hope not. But it was like a little shop of horrors. Then the ensuing stem cell transplant took me down darker roads than I knew existed. Complications came, as I said, and then I wound up at the very end of it being addicted to monstrous doses of Dilaudid and morphine. A musician with a substance abuse problem. That's yeah, right. But there was a silver lining to all this trouble. My nearness to death actually helped illuminate the rules to living I felt compelled to pass along to my kids should I not make it home. One night on the bone marrow transplant floor at Carmanos, it was called 10 Green. The floor was called 10 Green. I wrote a song to my children at that time because a little girl in a room right next to me had died that night, and I was overcome with fear and confusion, and I struggled to make sense of it all. And the lyrics to this, I wrote this to my kids. This is the lyrics of the song real quickly. A letter from 10 Green, it's called. I hear footsteps in the hall. It's 4 a.m., ignore the nurse's call. A little girl has died tonight. She struggled with this disease her entire life. Don't let me hear her mother's cry. Sleep come free me. Instead, I turn on the light, and to my own children I write. Live with all your guts and soul and heart every day. Never take love for granted. Don't wait for the world. Trust your talents as being a gift from God. Stay in the light, though you'll surely be drawn to the darkness. Give your life to helping others, to loving deeply your family, friends, and lovers. Have a humble respect for all living things. Believe in other people, they're good more often than they're not. Even when you're very low, there are things we cannot see. This is what we call our faith. This is what we can believe. You need faith to sing. You need faith to let God love you. You need faith to know I love you. Be kind and you'll never be lonely. Be fearless, that's something to be. I caught a bad break, but it's what we do with breaks. I'm watching. Good night, the sun is coming up. Now, and I was lucky enough to have had 11 more years since then with my children, so I'm an extremely lucky and fortunate person because so many of my friends, so many of the people I was transplanted with did not have that luxury of more time, which is, our greatest gift, really. But as I went through it, I was thinking about this when I was thinking of talking to you all, things that might be instructive based on my experience. I came up with, I'm actually working on a book proposal about my experience with transplant and everything. And I came up with these survival themes, sort of 10 essential emotional realities. And I think they're applicable to all walks of life, really. The first one is crossing the river of fear, facing your own reality honestly without delusion or deflection. Really, really assessing the state you're in, what's going on, who you are. The second one is hearing your own heart. In gospel music, particularly in black gospel music, there's something called the gospel impulse that says it's not what happens to you, it's how you handle it. And in most of the great gospel music, it says we'll take this pain and suffering and turn it into something that endures, something that will create something beyond my own demise. The third one is surrendering just enough to fight on, the possibility of grace in your case. Grace is I don't know what I am as far as religious. I'm not particularly religious, I don't know. But, I do know, I'm not. But the possibility of grace is undeserved well-being. So I am definitely the recipient of grace if such a thing exists. The fourth one is hearing your own music, just moving in step with yourself, being yourself, distilling your influences, but not being imitative as a person, as an artist, whatever. The fifth one is friendship and faith, taking others as they truly are, not how you want them to be, not how you think they should be, and loving them. Not unconditionally. I don't believe in unconditional love. I have 2 teenagers. You don't believe unconditional love. So the sixth one is heat and passion. You have to have a love of living despite the pain in life and despite the fact that we all perish eventually. The seventh one is a peripheral spiritual vision, in that regardless of what you believe about God or whatever, there's more than meets the eye in this world. The eighth one is anger and impatience is not a bad thing. I noticed in cancer care, this was actually first called Only the Truly Pissed Survive, but there is a sense of anger and impatience to people that go through it and do survive. They hang on. They feel there's an injustice that's been done and they want to live. The ninth one is wearing your will, letting it be known that your determination is real, and accepting all the inconsistencies and the paradoxes in life. Just accept them and live with them. And the last one is surviving survival, which is learning to laugh at yourself, which probably should be first, actually, if you can laugh at yourself. But as a musician and songwriter, I work in the complementary genres of soul and rock music. And one idea says that this kind of music has stayed with us for so long and in such enormous numbers because it says that all of us at heart are alike in love, longing, fear, hope, and ambition. And I find that to be true. I think that's one of the reasons that rock music and soul music resonates with so many people and has for so long and will for so long. Speaking of the humor side of this thing, one time I was sitting this is just after my transplant, I was sitting in a waiting room at Kermanos waiting to have a breathing treatment, a pentamidine treatment. And I was sitting just in a small waiting room, one of these rooms that are usually pretty beat up and kind of ugly, and just orange plastic chairs and a table in front of me with a red book, and Ladies' Home Journal, whatever. And the only other person in the room was a really lovely older black woman sitting in the corner. And up in the corner here, in the far corner, this was 1999, I think, or maybe 2000, but was a TV of Bill Clinton testifying before Congress. What the meaning of is. You remember that bit? And we were watching that for a minute. Both of us we had no hair, we had no health. We were both so sick. I weighed nothing, and I still had a line in my chest. She had a line on her chest. We're both hanging onto our poles. It was winter, and we're just like, ah. And all of a sudden, she looks up at Clinton. She's watching, and she goes, "Ain't it nice to see somebody who's more fucked than we are?" So I just thought, that's the gospel vision right there. That's taking it, and taking what abuses us and moving it into something else. We're all adults here. I can use that word, can't I? But survival, the sense of survival, is also about the importance of overcoming fear and fighting for your own life while trying to enable the dreams of others. With my sister and friends, we started a leukemia foundation in my name, and my home state of Michigan responded with great charity. My insurance was pretty good, so we took all the money. We raised $200,000, and I found that I didn't need it, so we gave it away in $10,000 chunks to the Children's Leukemia Foundation, Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, Gilda's Club, Kermanos, whatever. We just gave it all away. It was independent of me. They pretty much put it together. I was too sick. They just used my name. I'm not trying to make myself be a big hero or anything. But what they did, I thought, was remarkable, to recognize that our shared connection was so profound that we needed to raise this money and give it away. That started me on a course ever since I got better of judging my life on how much I gave it away, not how much I retained or received or got or bought or whatever. Just on how much I gave it away. It seemed I just felt better. That's when I wanted to talk about our idea of community. This is a great expression of community in a business sense or whatever. The fact that you guys gather once a month and you talk about your ideas and you meet and you get to know each other and and I'm sure fruitful things come out of this all the time, because beautifully expressed common experience is rare today. Individual agenda is unfortunately our shared password, even when played out in a collective sense. Sometimes I think we're not living up to the implicit promise placed in our hearts, the promise that says we can recognize and share the details of our common struggles and work to make them a part of our past. There's currently a lot of these fresh names being tossed about, particularly we're talking about in the music business changing so much. They call it a new paradigm. The fact that major labels are fading away and artists are able to represent themselves, get music out to the people without the impediments of middlemen. So that business is changing. They call it a new paradigm, new model, whatever. To me, it's just a good idea. It's just a good idea whose time has come. Because the goal remains, even if the system and the media changes, the goal remains human connection through the magic of music and art. Artists identifying the pain we all have, ripping the scab off that pain, and then singing about it is, to me, has been throughout my life a cure for what hurt. When you think about the power of it, a large, like-minded, and mutually supportive audience in support of art and artists, all on the same page in a regional sense. That's what the good idea says to me. My music has allowed me to understand certain things about myself. Why am I drawn to soul music? I've had to come up with an answer to this question 1,000 times. People say, what is soul? Or what is soul music or something? And finally I had to come up with an answer for it just to satisfy myself. It seems soul is, for better or worse, about suffering, survival, and then a guarded optimism. Soul's about scar tissue. Soul is faith when cynicism is easier. It's hanging in there when you've had it. It's knowing we're born to die, yet living with passion. It's not necessarily about unconditional love, but it is about letting a person's character let your main source for your judgment, let that be your main source of judgment of him or her. The great Al Green says that soul is fearing no evil. Maybe that describes it best. And the great Solomon Burke said he dreams of writing a soul song that would do no less than save the world if everyone sang it. I guess that's what I strive for. I'm trying to write songs about what we choose and what we lose while on this journey, how easy it is to get lost and how difficult it is to transcend. But getting lost is also part of the process. You get lost in the music and you find yourself along the way. During the 3 to 5 years it took me to recover from this, my wife Julia worked at Campbell Ewald, and she had a demanding senior level position there, and she cared for our 2 young children, who I said were 4 and 2, and up from there. And she hung on with me through all this really profoundly rough stuff, and together we learned how to maintain real love with the survivor's attitude. I worked to educate myself about leukemia and the transplant process, about people, about living and dying. Together we learned what overcoming the odds really meant. And so that's another silver lining, is that it brought my wife and I even closer in the bond of love that we started out when we got together when we were 6 or something. No, 21, young. So just in closing, I just want to say a couple more remarks about this, about what I've learned in wrapping this up. I never really made any deal with God or said, why me, or all that stuff, because I'd also had a marvelous life up to that point. So I said, why not me? Why shouldn't adversity visit me too? And it's also really bad form, if there is a God, to make a deal with God. I don't think, God likes people bartering. But it is beyond my level of understanding why some prayers are honored and others apparently are not, or are honored in ways we don't accept or see or expect or understand. Happiness, the thing we all are striving for, seems like a quality forever at our fingertips, yet we often take it for granted and find ourselves without it. We go to bed at night and barter with God for more years with nothing to offer in trade except our lives. But what really keeps us going? How do we make the most of it during this brief time we're here? what can you really count on in a slippery and uncertain world? The thing I found is there's a lot to be said for just hanging in there. Just show up and make sure your shoes match, you know. So I really want to thank you for having me here today. And I guess the last lesson I came away with is don't waste a minute or a word. And this seems redundant to talk to all of you about. You're here because you're motivated, you're driven, you've got great ideas, you want to affect the world, you want to affect change, you want to improve your own lives. So speaking to you has been just a real joy, and I look forward to talking to all of you more and meeting all of you more. But that's it. Even in our darkest moments, we hope. And some of you may be currently in the midst of your darkest moment. I don't know when I'm speaking to people. I don't know. So just try to hang in there and try to find something you can believe in. So again, thanks to Dean, and thanks for all of you. Thanks all of you. Thank you very much.
I want to. I need both mics here. I have the rare occasion to have been to all 4+ years of these. And I have to say, no, you got to stand up here with me.
Stay here? All
yeah,
right.
stay here with me. I have to say that I've had professionals speak inspirationally. I've had all sorts of corporate leaders and experts in their fields. But yours was one of the most moving talks that we've ever had as part of Third Thursday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your candor. Let me grab, let's see, I know I've got one of your CDs here, the current one, Alive and Unplugged at the Ark, and then the other one, Motor City Serenade.
This one is What We Talk Of When We Talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and these are available over at the merch table along with Laura Jean's stuff. Laura Jean will, she has a copy of her EP if you buy one of Stewart's. She's got a couple of hers, only $1, right? So what are we asking for these?
Whatever you got. Oh. $10. They go for $10.
They go for $10.
Yeah.
So we want to thank you. Questions? Anybody from the audience here? And I'm supposed to give this one to the people so it'll get on the video. Are we on, G? Okay. Okay. Questions? Anyone from the audience?
Yeah, I'm happy to answer questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Michael.
I don't know much about this. I don't know much about the stem cell situation, but you do. Well,
No, that's so you're on the video.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yes. You know something about that, don't you?
Apparently not. Tell us about stem cell, where it's at today, and where you land on the issue. I probably know this.
Well, it means as far as stem cells, experimental stem cell research and everything like that.
It's been a controversial in the news topic.
Right.
So based on your experience and
for me, I mean, there's slightly separate issues in the sense that stem cell collection for bone marrow-based cancers is something that's you harvest it from a person that has opted into the program. You know, a person who has signed up. And having said that, I would encourage all of you to go to the nmdp.org, which is National Marrow Donor Program. And if you want to get into the registry, it's just a cheek swab. You don't have to give blood or anything. You could possibly match someone anywhere in the world as a bone marrow match, and you'd save their lives. So that people opt in, they donate their stem cells, it saves a life. As far as research, I wouldn't be standing here without it. So I'm obviously very much for it, and when you look at the political aspects of it, I'd still be for it having not gone through this. That's how I feel. I feel strongly about it. So, and when you talk to people that are scientists and work in it all the time, there's absolutely no, marginalization of the human aspect. You know, there's no killing. There's no. These are things that, as you've all heard on the news a million times, these are things that would be discarded. So if it's used to help us live and grow, it's part of my idea of an enlightened, borderless community. You know, that's...
Yes. Excellent question, Michael. Anyone else? All right, if not, April? Stand up.
Hi, Stewart. Being a Michigan man, are you involved in any of the recent campaigning and trying to bring business and people and awareness of Michigan? Except the Pure Michigan campaign, any involvement with that? You know,
I'm only in...
We're reaching out to a lot of entertainers and
Yeah.
musicians and things like that to kind of help get on board.
I'm involved with the Michigan Film Office and Ken Droz up there in trying to get people and musicians to come in and record in facilities here because we have, world-class facilities here. But also the reason I have this hideous black goatee is because I was asked to do a small part in a small film. And they said they wanted blonde hair and a black goatee. And I said, all right, what's it paying? I mean,
The check's cash, you'll go.
Yeah. So that's so it's exciting to me. It's really exciting. It should be exciting to all of us who are looking to do stuff. This film work is coming and people are here. I think the Michigan Film Office and the government has to do a better job at involving Michiganians in the process. So right now, these production companies are coming in, they're doing what they do, and then they're leaving. Right. That's the downside so far. We haven't figured out how to involve ourselves in it.
I think you'll be delighted. We know a few people here in the audience who are doing that kind of work, so when they give their elevator speeches, you'll see there are people who are trying to put their flag in the sand here
good.
and trying to do some things to help spread that term of community. By the way, I want to mention that everybody, you have done many things, and you talked about the organizations you supported, and I wanted to share with everybody, you've already given a gift. Included in your admission today is a tribute to you to Children's Leukemia, correct?
Children's Leukemia Foundation,
Right.
yeah.
So as part of your
thank you.
as part of your admission today, we'll be sending a gift to them. I encourage, if you want to help supplement that gift, Mary Ellen will take anything for Children's Leukemia. But again, it's that is how Stewart has come to us today in tribute. So I said if he'd come and talk, I would make a tribute gift in honor of him. So I thank you for that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh,
thank
you're
you
welcome.
For that. Yeah.
Stuart, again, I thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
If you'll indulge me 1 second, Laura Jean, will you join me up here? I'd like to get a picture of the three of us, and then we're going to do our elevator speeches and stuff and our Q&A. All right. This one's for your Facebook, honey, not mine. All right. One more, Mel? Yeah. One more. Okay. Yes. Oh. Oh, wait. It's the TV producer who's saying we need better light.
Scoot back. You're
Scoot
in my
back.
light.
Oh, I'm in your light. Oh, my God. It's all right. Come on. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, where's Raj?
Yeah. Raj is sitting down where he should be. All right, Jen, you got that one? Okay. All right, thank you. All right, thank you again, Stuart, and thank you, everyone. I've got a couple of quick invite guests I want to invite up. Let's see now, this is the house mic. Okay.
Thanks for asking.
Let's see now, where's Sandy? Where's Sandy Bears? Sandy, you want to come up front for a second? Sandy's been keeping us up to date on a wonderful project he's on, and I wanted to get a quick status report. One of the things that Sandy has shared with us time and time again is the need to have a quality marketing plan. Sandy Bears, president and founder of 97 Marketing Secrets and Business Marketing Services. Sandy, so tell you what, you've got your project, Fast Start Marketing Plan, correct?
Fast marketing plan.
Fast Marketing Plan.
Yep.
Fastmarketingplan.com is the URL for it.
Exactly.
And you're about to launch here, aren't you?
We're getting close. We're 15 to 30 days away. We're going into beta within a week or two. And what this website is that all the marketing tools out there to create a marketing plan are a lot of work for a lot of small businesses. It takes weeks and weeks and months to compile all the information, get it all into the software or into the website, whatever you happen to be using. So what I've done is I've created a membership site at fastmarketingplan.com where for $19 a month, you can create a marketing plan, and I'm pushing it as I don't want you to work on it for more than 7 minutes a day for a week to create your marketing plan. What it is I've written descriptions with Dean's help and some other friends to about 550 different marketing tactics. And so what's going to happen is that you'll be able to go to fastmarketingplan.com, go to any one of the 8 categories, pull down a marketing tactic and get some education, learn about that particular marketing tactic, a typical budget for a small business, and then you'll be able to create your plan starting with a template based on your industry. Then you can go in, pick, choose, change your tactics, change your budgets, how many times you want to use it for that particular year or 18 months or whatever. and you can create marketing plans for one business, 5 businesses, one product, 5 products for the $19.95 a month. But the secret sauce of the whole thing is
This
that
is my favorite one. Go ahead.
the secret sauce is that my programmers developed a program to, with your permission, to look at your marketing tactics, and all the marketing tactics have timing on them. So if you have a marketing tactic coming up, you're going to get an email on your desk Monday morning saying you've got this project, this tactic, this tactic, this tactic coming up. How are you doing with it? Do you need any help? If you need any help, here's a couple links to a few of my friends. So those of you selling those particular types of service that relate to that link will also be offering links for you to buy to drive traffic to your website also. So we're helping both sides of the coin there.
A great investment, if you will, a qualified audience, the ability who's going to need, maybe I need graphic design, maybe I need web development, maybe I need ad specialties or whatever. Printers, copywriters.
You name it.
All right. Mary Ellen looked up at copywriters? No. But that's an exciting, when's our launch on this?
As of right now, November 15th.
November 5th.
Programmers are finicky.
I know.
As we're learning, but we're on track. We're on track. We're getting there, and
If you're interested in the updates, make sure Sandy gets your card. If you're interested in being a part of that project, by all means. And Sandy is probably one of the most approachable business professionals. He loves to sit there and share his expertise, but because he knows it comes back to him tenfold. And I'm just excited to help him champion this project and have been a part of it, because I know it's going to empower a lot of people. So Sandy, keep keeping us up with these updates, and I look forward to getting more of these updates from you in the coming weeks and months.
Thanks, Dean. And go to fastmarketingplan.com. I've got a sign-up page there to keep you informed as to the launch and everything else. Plus, I'm offering $1 for the first 30 days to play with it. Then you'll be auto-billed $19.95 after that. So it makes it easy.
$1, I can't give it away for that. So, well, thank you, Sandy,
Well,
and thank you for the updates.
You're welcome.
Where's Shannon? Shannon LaMarche, you want to come up front? You had mentioned you wanted to share some stuff with our people. Yes. Actually, that mic is for the video mic. This is for the room. So, I get to look like one of those reporters with 2 mics here. Yes. All right. I mentioned I kind of front sold you and your business when Stewart was talking about the need for more Michiganders to be involved in the communications industry. And you've been doing some wonderful stuff, correct?
Well, not in communications, but.
Well, in the movie biz.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no business like
Yeah.
show business.
You'd be very surprised how many of us Michiganders are, and I'm a transplant, I'm not a native Michigander, but I'm very excited to be here at this time when the movie industry is really growing here. It's kind of been a groundswell. Yes, those film companies have come in here, done great work, and then left, but they've left us with a great legacy to start our own. So there is a lot of grassroots stuff going on. My production company is one of them. We're producing a film called Child POW, a true story based on the book by Alice Finch. And I'm happy to say that we're headed to LA to the American Film Market in about 3 weeks. And we are looking to pre-sell some of our foreign distribution rights, raise some money for our budget, and go to Lens next summer. And hopefully by this time next month, or at the very latest December, I'll be able to announce who our director is. And you will know who that person is, because we're down to 3, and they're very, very good. I am not at liberty to say.
Yes. Well, I didn't make that cut, so I'm excited to see who did. So it's really been exciting, and I appreciate you using our forum here to kind of share a lot of the great success, because yours is truly a made in Michigan story. It's nice that the incentives are there and the tax breaks are there, but most importantly, it's wonderful that you are putting your heart and your bliss and really empowering people, our neighbors, our friends, in ways that, again, production company comes and they're gone, Mm-hmm. You're here and you're committed to being here, and I applaud that, and I ask everybody else to applaud that as well. Thank you, Shannon. Two more quick things, then we're going to go around the room here. I'm sure if you haven't been here in a while, you'll notice these big hot lights. Why? Because we have had requests for people who wish they could come from as far away as Boston to Hawaii. And there's a reason for that, because we have a quality of speaker here. On your tables, you'll see an order form. It's the other half of your agenda. Charles Pugh. Who was here last month for Charles Pugh? Just quick show of hands. How many thought that, like me, that was an absolutely fantastic talk? Yeah, you can still keep your hands up, applaud. The other thing about it, how about this talk here? Stewart, your sharing here, again, touched my heart. How many knows at least 2 or 3 people who should have been in the room today and heard what he had to say? You can applaud for that. That sounds better on mic. Here's your chance to get this talk to those people. Here's the chance to get this wisdom, this leadership, these ideas. I mean, we copied down those 10 principles you shared with us, and I have to say they were very powerful. But here's a chance to empower other people, groups you are, or your workplace, or whatever. We have available videos. We also have some audio products available. Let's see, a talk I gave recently this past summer, 7 ways to grab your customer by the wallet. And no, I'm not advocating pickpocketing, but these are 7 customer service strategies to get your customers ready to sell or ready to buy. Let's see, we also have our strategic partner, Raj. He has two audio products available. Here's a handsome guy. Boy, good photography there. Raj Sillers, he's got one on social media, and the other one is on freelancing. Laura Jean, we mentioned her EP is available if you buy one of Stewart's today for just $1 more. So we want to encourage you to take advantage of these tools, take them to your friends, your family, your workplace, the ability to get out these powerful messages in constructive ways to people. So I'm really excited about it. I hope, again, we've got some great exhibitors today. Rosh is exhibiting, the Money Finders, one of our sponsors going back, our winning sponsor today, interninmichigan.com. There you are. I was looking for you. Come here. Winning has its privileges, right? Yes. All right, Jennifer. Jennifer Gooden here with the Michigan Regional, Detroit Regional Chamber. I'm sitting here staring at the name badge. I'm going to give you kind of a chance, since you are the winner here, share just a little bit about your program. You got 2 minutes, because I know I want to get everybody else sharing.
interninmichigan.com, the first of its kind, is an initiative to retain Michigan's talent. The website was launched April 24th, and we have about 6,000 students registered right now.
Whoa. 6,000 students? Wow, that's incredible.
But we only have about 500 employers. We need more. So if you know anybody that does internships, or you're doing it yourself, please help us spread the word. Since April, about 200 internship opportunities have been posted, about 20 or 30 of which are available right now. So yeah, it's free to use. Employers and students use the same site to post their profiles.
So that's a really powerful opportunity in these days when you need all the hands you can get on deck, the opportunity to bring in aspiring young talent. You never know where that next leader, that next impacting person's going to be. I know I talked to Jennifer and said that I've oftentimes been like the JA advisor, the internship coordinator at positions I've had, and I really believe that these people are enthusiastic. I know I look out at David Sawicki there. His wife built her business on interns and power, so it's a great program, and we're thrilled to be supporting them by having them as one of our tables today. So Jennifer, good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome, and thanks for being here today. All right. Laura Jean. Go grab that fishbowl. You can be Vanna White here. Yes. All right. Let's see now. The first easy pick, 15, 21, 31, 34, 49, and a gold bowl of 27. Oh, a last second entry. Did everybody in who wants? I mean, Fritz? Yeah. Hey, Fritz is good at finding money. Maybe he can find this stuff, All right. I'll hold it. You reach in. Hang on. Boy. All right. Making the decision hard on you. All right. I've got to hold 2 microphones, a lottery ticket, and a fishbowl. Jeez. What do I look like, your father? All right. And I will espouse, I have not put mine or your mother's in here, so don't look. Down, over, cold, warm. All right, just grab one. Okay, and what does it say? April! Oh my goodness gracious. Who said they knew it? Yes. Yes. Well, all right. So I have for you 5 chances at over $200 million. Yes. Yes, yes. And by the way, April's phone number is, no. No. Let's see.
I made a promise to God. I didn't make a deal with God, but I said if I ever won the lottery, I'd give away 1/3 to charity. I think that's some kind of nonprofit. So, if I win,
Yes.